Hi everybody,
Hey,
this is Ben.
this is Ildi.
So welcome to part 2 of the I almost said love yourself series because that was just so long and we did like 16 videos, so it was like a reflex. But this is actually Map of the Soul Persona album review song by song, and the next songs that we're going to listen to is
Mikrokosmos.
which I said Mikrokosmos, by the way, which is completely wrong pronunciation, probably in English, but anyway. And then the other song that we're going to listen to is Make It Right. And a couple of things that we're going to talk about is also going to be the production side of it, because we just noticed a couple of things. And we're also going to talk about the international reception and some kind of, stories around that. So the thing that I want to actually, do you want to hear a funny army story before or after?
Of course.
Okay, so guys, the funny thing is, like, this is just such an army thing, and like I love this part of the K-pop fandom in general. When the song titles came out, people already started guessing, like, what are these? And some of the song titles to me look like this is like, and this could be a name of some hipster coffee in East London. Like,
Yeah.
this could be the name of
This is every Shoreditch cafe.
Yeah, it's just like the names of like. Okay, anyway, but obviously people looked at it like, what could it mean? What is it going to be? Like, this is just like the new era. What are we going to do? And, some people who watch this channel might remember a tiny little fact about me, which is that I'm Hungarian. And when this song title came out, people Googled it. And now that we looked at YouTube and just typed in Mikrokosmos, the main thing that came out is BTS. But probably this wasn't the case before. When people Googled it, they were like, what this could be, music related. And what they found is a early 20th century composer called Béla Bartók, who is a classical music composer / folk music professor, because he collected all these folk songs from Hungary and Transylvania, whatever. And then he he merged modern classical music with a lot of folk influences, and it was very revolutionary. So it's like his music is hard to listen to most of the times. And he also wrote a big book of piano etudes that was titled Mikrokosmos. And, the Hungarian army thought that this is our time. Our time has finally come. BTS is talking to us now. So I was on Twitter and the Hungarian armies were going crazy. We were just like, this is it. And even I myself, I replied to tweets saying this actually I learned from this when I was in music conservatory in Hungary. This is a very complicated piece of music. There are easy etudes for kids to learn and there are harder ones. So it's like, this is going to be great. This is going to be so mind-blowingly complex if it has any relation to Béla Bartók's music, which is okay, that is just some next level thing. If it has any relation, this is going to be revolutionary. And we ended up something completely different, which a nice, I think, a Greek army pointed out on Twitter that, by the way, maybe we should look at the meaning of the word Mikrokosmos or Mikrokosmos, which means something completely different. Just kind of like a small world living inside us, but we're going to, Google it later on. So anyway, it ended up being something different. So let's see, with that in mind, does it remind you of Hungarian / classical music? Probably not, but...
I very much doubt it from having listened to it.
I mean, we had our 1 second of fame, you see. The Hungarian
you grabbed
army.
It with both hands.
Yeah, absolutely. We were posting about Béla Bartók and his legacy and how BTS is finally connecting. And
a massive group of young people got into complicated piano etudes for a week. I guess.
I was forced to play those things, so I had no choice.
They're engraved into your memory.
Exactly, they are definitely engraved. Gosh, it was complicated. Okay, so back to the song Mikrokosmos after this small detour of how army works. I like this song. I haven't looked at the lyrics yet though.
I haven't either.
Oh. Feeling it so much better now.
I never noticed that little twinkle before.
Push. Gosh. The lyrics make so much difference. I heard this 6 times already, but now it's so different. But I'm in danger again.
Of course you are. It's BTS.
This is like an encore song, now that I know the lyrics.
Oh, okay.
This is gonna be me at Wembley.
Yeah.
We see each other's light. I don't think they see mine though, but that's cool.
Yeah, this is gonna be you and Jade, right?
Yeah, Jade. Yeah. Deeper than that. This is so uplifting. How many people live in? Oh,
It's for the world.
I was like, how many people live in Seoul? But then, too much.
Because as a great man once said, we are the world.
True. What a callback. It's because of us. One of these days I'm gonna learn Korean. I wanna go to Korean, so actually I need to learn Korean.
You're loving this.
Absolutely. Because the lyrics are just so lovely. I used to look as a kid.
All the nervous.
That's very good for us at Wembley.
Oh yeah, of course.
That is
Because
very
this song is clearly for the fans.
That is very true. Nice fade out. Hoo-hoo. Okay. I know I'm like a bit, over the top with these, but it's just like, if you're a fan of the band, like.
Well, they're your favourite group, so like you're allowed to be.
Yeah, it just kind of.
It's really more that I'm not wowed enough.
Yeah, it's interesting because it kind of gives me, like, now that I know the lyrics, this is going to be so different. Just like Magic Shop. Like
Yeah.
that song for me is like a sense of comfort. I was reading really shitty the other day. And I was just like, English rain. And I was just like walking in the English rain deep in my sorrow. And I was just like, you give me the best of me. So and I was like, that is true. So this is me. And then like, this is going to be the other song on my playlist of like, lifts me up type of thing. So it definitely gives me, already gave me a sense of comfort. And yeah, with the lyrics of like, you look up the sky, and personal story time. My room in Hungary, where this is my like childhood room, which is still my room because I don't have a flat there or anything. So it's like still my room. It looks at the sky in a way that I can always see the moon. So it's kind of like, if I'm in Hungary, I can basically tell what the hour is in the night based on where the moon is. Like, it's kind of
mine was like that as a kid as well.
Really? So it's like I always.
I looked right out on one side of the house, and it was all like clear, and the buildings there, so you could just see everything.
Yeah. So I used to always look at the moon. So it's kind of like that sort of mood. I think it's you see, it's totally universal kind of idea of like you look up the moon.
Yeah.
And it's just like, and obviously the moon.
Everybody looks at the sky.
Yeah. And just like you're hoping for something. But it's interesting though, because it is so universal if you think about the, almost every like Arabic romantic song has the word Habibi in it, which is like my lover and my love, and it also has like an interpretation of like my moonlight and this sort of thing.
As does a song by Sick K, which is probably a bit less sincere.
Anyway, those songs are very much needed as well. Definitely. So it's like, okay, this is so different for me. But the funny thing is like how little I understood like the shine,
dream, smile.
Shine like. I honestly, at first, I thought it was Christmas for some reason. I don't know why. Shine Christmas. It's like misheard K-pop lyrics. Shine Christmas, and I was like, why is it? Like, this can't be right. This is not a Christmas album. But anyway, I think the whole production was really. What did you see? What did you think about the music?
Not a lot, to be honest.
Not a lot.
That's like a general theme of this album for me. I just don't really have much of a reaction. It's just fine. It's pleasant to listen to. I wouldn't turn it off, but I wouldn't seek it out. It's just okay.
Yeah. What I was thinking is like very, very, very light.
Yeah. That's another theme of the album. Like everything is pretty light.
I think it's probably like it ties into kind of like a like a mood that they wanted to provide. Like the concept of the album is like it's kind of like this outward looking, the persona that we show outside. It can be it can be light. It can be shallow in certain sense because you're looking outside instead of looking in, which they did so much on previous albums. So it's but it's interesting. I found it interesting that like the kind of the guitar I liked a lot because it was an actual electronic guitar sound that you would hear a lot of this kind of like triplet rhythm of like one. It's like ta 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 ta.
Yeah.
1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. It's like it gives you like a sort of like it just pushes you forward.
Yeah.
That type of mood.
It's the feeling of motion.
The feeling of motion, very well said. So and then it kind of reminded me of. Do you know who Don Henley is?
I've heard the name, but I don't know.
So he was a singer in the Eagles, the rock band, the legendary.
Oh yes, I do know who you mean.
So it's like the song Desperado, and then he had the song called "The Boys of Summer."
Yeah, that's where I know him from.
I really love that song, but like a lot of his songs, like on the album, like has that type of. Everything is in motion. Like it's just that. It's like the soft rock uses that element a lot, and it's kind of like you're driving, you're going from A to B, you're moving towards something. So it's I think that rhythm really gives you that mood for sure. Okay, cool guys. The next song that we're gonna listen to is "Make It Right." Okay, and with "Make It Right," we're gonna discuss something that we did notice about production of this album. So let's see how that comes out, because it's. Ed Sheeran apparently reached out first. This is what I saw.
Yeah, well, he was like previously congratulating them whenever they had an album and stuff, wasn't he? So. And
apparently he was the one who suggested the collaboration first. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So I was slightly surprised about that, by the way. Isn't he on like a break or something?
Probably. I know he's had controversy for like, he's got a really nice mansion in Surrey, or no, Sussex, down here in England, southern England.
Yeah.
And he's getting a lot of shit from the locals because he wants loads and loads of things added onto it. So like, he's got like an underground cinema, and he wants to have a private pub on his grounds and like make an extension and name it after his wife and stuff. And like, of course, because the English press is the English press, he just gets endless rubbish from them about it. But yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting, you see, because like,
oh no, young man is successful with music and wants to have a nice house. Can't have that.
To be fair, if you compare
petty people,
if you compare Ed Sheeran's rock style persona to some of the rock stars of the past, this is pretty decent.
It's pretty tame.
It's pretty tame compared to like if you think about Guns N' Roses in the 90s or
and like the Who, driving Rolls Royces into swimming pools and things.
Yeah, well, we know about one, genre where these things, unfortunately, only either end up very badly or don't happen at all. So now we're gonna look at how can we make things right, even if we want mentions in south of England. So Ed Sheeran, here we come. Let's see what you have in store for us after
the ad for Detective Pikachu. I can't wait for this to come out.
Really?
I cannot wait.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Now you're in a good mood.
Make it right. I'm in a good mood now, yeah.
Okay, come on. Make it right.
Also, this might be my favourite song on the album.
I really like his singing style in this, you see.
It suits it.
Very nice. Very, very nice. Especially baby. You know, Enrique Creek, baby. I really want harmonies.
You always want harmonies.
Sure. Guilty. I think Jim really shines on this album. Somebody pointed out that he got way more lines.
Yeah, well, he's more confident in his singing now, isn't he?
Nice. Jimmy has such a unique voice.
Yeah.
That's just a fact. Make it right. Alright. I like the deeper harmonies when they edit.
They're still using that like super duper delicate one though.
Yeah. Sort of faded in the background.
Something I've noticed in K-pop, they love having someone who's basically just breathing the lyrics
Sure.
all the time.
I love also J-Hope. This is such a nice timbre of his. Good key, good key.
And that's I think why I like the song so much.
It's a good key for everybody, yeah.
It fits all of them.
Very good.
And that's not the case with the other songs for me.
My Rehab. Oh, this cuts through, yeah, I know. You know, Jimin. What else do you know? Oh.
Gosh, that Jimin falsetto.
That Jimin. Oh, falsetto freak out. On Never Ending Night. I love the fact that Never Ending Night. Yeah. Did you notice that they're doubling themselves?
Yeah. They're harmonizing one octave above with themselves all the time.
Oh.
Random mum. Chill sugar.
And he sings as well in the background.
Oh yeah. Imagery.
I'll tell you one thing about that though. Might not be that straightforward. I can make it right.
It always sounds so weird when V's singing high. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Not in a bad way, but it's just kind of odd.
Because like his falsetto,
Doesn't feel right.
His falsetto is the, but he can make it right.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like his falsetto has a very different, like, sound from a usual falsetto because it still kind of feels deep. If you get what I mean, like his voice.
Well, yeah, because of the timbre of his voice,
yeah.
it's very like baritone.
Yeah, I just want to write down a couple of things. Music dissected and desert. Okay, so you said that this is might be your favorite song on the album. And why is that?
It's got a proper groove to it. Like it gets your head bobbing, it gets you interested, and then it doesn't just do the same thing forever with no variation. Like it has that weird little like that comes in and like mixes things up.
But
and
again,
then they echo that with their lyrics, and everybody sounds good.
Yeah, I think
like nothing on this track doesn't fit. Basically,
it's very compact. Like it's just like a good mixture of things.
It knows what it wants to do, and it does that.
Yeah, I think one thing that I want to point out, I think the lyrics, for example, sometimes we concentrate a lot on music, but we do watch the lyrics as well. So the songs is pretty straightforward in a sense, but there's one thing I want to point out. Like in previous videos, I already wore like a self-made BTS shirt with my favorite lyrics from a not even a side track, but like a hidden track called Sea. So this whole sea and desert thing, it's kind of like a BTS imagery that they use about like, you know, the sea being like difficulties and the past and whatever, like sort of desert being difficulties past, and like the sea, and there's the connection with the fandom and like the connection with the fans. So it's kind of like that's imagery that they use. So Sugas, I think he's pointing to that as well. But the lyrics are pretty straightforward in that sense, but you know, nicely written, obviously. And I think, you know what was also interesting in this one? That recently I discovered some cool videos on the just like K-pop songs when they highlight the background vocals and who did the vocals and when, where, and like, and I've seen it with some BTS songs, and I honestly enjoyed it a lot because I discovered new layers of it. So basically they rip apart the layers and show each vocal layer.
That's what I would be interested in for this album, because every song pretty much has those really super duper heavily layered vocals, like I was complaining about when we were watching Boy With Love, and I was like, it just sounds like Jungkook instead of like when Halsey was singing it. I couldn't really tell because it's not super obvious.
And Genius had that series recently when they, I think a couple like the producers of Red Velvet's Bad Boy did a video, and like the guy who did DJ Swivel, if I'm pronouncing his name right, he did Euphoria for Jungkook. And like, so he showed it like
breaking
exactly
down how they made the beat.
That is really good. But again, the vocals are just a different story. So yeah, definitely. There's one thing that we wanted to talk about regarding these two songs, which was about the producers. What did we notice, Ben? We kind of mentioned
it's like a million people who helped write these songs.
You know, because when we started to talk about this, I then Googled an album of BTS, which was like already pretty popular, so they could reach out and like, you know, get different songwriters. So the Most Beautiful Moment in Life album, the part 1, doesn't have, you know, almost any, you know, Western, you know, writers on it, producers, not much. I'm pretty sure like even they like Western producers surely worked on it in terms of just like reworking it, remixing it, or mixing artists. But there is not much. But then if you look at Map of the Soul Persona, this song...
There's so many songwriters.
Matty Thompson, Max Graham, Marcus McCann, Ryan, James, and obviously RM Sugar, and then there you go, DJ Swivel. This is the guy that we talked about. Grammy Award-winning, wonderful guy, obviously. Can this girl Fontana? This girl Fontana, Melanie Joy Fontana, she was singing behind them on SNL.
Oh, okay.
And I read an article with her, like an interview with her. It was very funny because she said it was like, I think she exaggerated probably a bit. She said it's probably better feeling than giving childbirth or whatever. Like, just like it's the happiest moment of her life so far. So it's like she was really, really impressed by BTS for sure, which I can imagine being like, you know, a joyous moment to see something come live that you worked on as a songwriter. So it was very interesting. But yeah, it's so different. The album sounds different, and you know, international collaboration makes it sound different.
Yeah.
With, you know, Ed Sheeran being involved.
As our lovely reviews like to mention all the time, like they don't care how a song sounds, they just care who's on it. It feels like they've made so much of Ed Sheeran being involved with Make It Right, when you can't tell, and it's just a songwriting credit among how many people on this one? 2, 3, 4, 5, like 8 people. He's one of 8. But he gets all the press because I know because he's a big artist.
But we don't know how much he actually.
That's the trouble, isn't it? Though, because they all just get a credit.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he made the whole structure of the song, or if
royalties
he just,
will tell.
Wrote a chorus or whatever. Like, you don't know.
Yeah, the royalties are the ones that like basically going to tell us. But again, those are not, you know, disclosed information. So we don't know the percentages and anything. But it's kind of an interesting and again something we are only stating our personal opinion, but we want you guys to give some food for thought. Like think about, you know, how in this case BTS's sound changed by the influence of international collaborators, and this is going to be something for us to talk about later on as well. But do let us know what you think and let us know in the comments, and see you for the next episode, which is going to be the complicated song with a French title,
Jamais Vu.
Jamais Vu, there you go, and an easy one for Ildi to pronounce, Home. So see you very shortly, guys. Bye.